Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, one and all, to another episode of Talk Visual 305. We're coming to you live downtown Homestead here at our studio. And Julio!
We got another special guest in the building. We got Mr. C.K. Stoner, community leader. He is one of the most humble people you can meet. He is a guru when it comes to insurance. He's a guy that's accessible all the time. You'll talk to him about life, insurance, money, problems. This guy is just easy to talk to. Let's give it up for C.K. Stoner.
Mr. Stoner, welcome, sir. Welcome to our podcast. We wanted to bring you in and kind of, for you to leave some crumbs behind, as we all say. Success leave crumbs. And we figured, let's bring in Mr. CK and see what, how he can help influence the next gen coming up. So tell us, Mr. C, how are you, sir? How are you?
Very nervous. You know what? Really, really great. And I appreciate you guys, reaching out. Julio, we missed an appointment when you first started this.
Yeah.
And,
right.
I said, I'm coming on, but schedule and life and
understand that, man. We'll get with your agent, sir. Let them know that, hey, tell your people to talk to our people, right?
When you're that successful, you're traveling a lot, So CK is like, hey, brother, I'm busy, man. I'm traveling to Tahiti. I'll be back at some point.
It's on my bucket list. It's on my bucket list, man.
It's on his list. So Mr. CK, tell us a little more about yourself. So who are you? Who are you?
That's a scary question.
I understand, but we like to hear it anyway.
So, and my name, like he said, actually Charles K. Stoner is my legal name. That's scary, putting it out there.
Right.
But I go by CK I think for about 40 years now. 45 years.
That's how we know you.
There's a
That's how I know
backstory.
you. Right.
There's a backstory as as we talk a little bit more about that. But yeah, and a humble. Thank you for that. I try to be and father. To two beautiful kids, son, daughter, husband, beautiful wife. We just passed our 20.
Get it right.
Oh, yeah,
Get it
hurry.
right.
You're
listening.
The window's closing. That window's closing.
No, I'm only kidding. I'm great. 27 years.
27 years.
We got to give it up. 27 years.
Thank God and thank you, Namoy, my wife, so, it's a
team
incredible,
effort,
without a doubt. And, but blessed with that. And business owner, long time here in Homestead, been here since the 70s.
Okay.
And, on and off, how it is, right? So we grow up and then, take off,
Understood.
a little bit.
So what led you, as far as, beautiful family. The kids are off now. They're out of the house. You're an empty nester per se, right? Congratulations there. We know.
Wow.
I think your son now. I think he's military.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So Dimitri. Julio. As well. We go a little bit way back. So, by the way, you have to ask me why I'm wearing this shirt.
Why are you wearing that shirt?
What is this?
It's Hawaiian. It looks Hawaiian.
Aloha.
They call it aloha shirt.
I heard a situation yesterday with hurricanes, tsunamis.
Well, yeah. So the reason why I'm wearing, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. There was a tsunami warning because of an earthquake, 8.8, the biggest earthquake in Russia. Right? So and then
impacted everywhere.
Well, that was the fear. That happened yesterday, and the alerts went out. And Hawaii was, you imagine Russia and the Pacific coming down, So anyway, but I'm wearing this because it's a sigh of relief. Talking about my son being in the military, he's a Marine.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm blessed. My daughter-in-law is also a naval officer.
Okay.
Right. So and guess what? They're stationed in Hawaii.
That's amazing.
So yeah.
I'm sure you were able to check in. And
Well, a little bit, but
for
we
the
kept,
most part.
we were watching. There's a 6-hour difference in time. So when, as they said, it was gonna hit the fan. It was like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So we're just keeping an eye out on the news.
It's good that he says things like that, because a lot of times we see things on the news and it's like, oh, something happened way up, but we don't know sometimes how close it hits to home.
That is
when
correct.
we talk to CK and he's like, man, I got family over there.
Yeah.
And
then
family, actually.
It puts it in a different perspective. CK, scoot in a little bit.
That's right.
There we go.
There you
All
go.
right, all right, all right.
1, 2, 1, 2. You know what this reminds me of? Off topic is Saturday Night Live.
Well,
welcome.
welcome to Wednesday Live, guys. So as
there
we
we go.
continue on, so CK, as you were saying now regarding, obviously the family life, which obviously you're an empty nester, and we were praying for every one of those that's out there that may be impacted by this situation that's going on. So tell us a little more. I mean, you transitioned. What made you go into the insurance space?
Well, so as we grow up, we go, we're in school and we're kind of lost in the way, don't know what to do. My old man at that time had a partnership in the insurance business. He was actually a life and health guy. We're talking, way back when.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, going through school and not knowing what to do, he's like, I need some help.
Yeah.
So that's how it started. And we're talking back in the 80s. I got first license in 1984.
Wow.
In the insurance business. Yeah. So it's a long time.
Right.
On and off.
Right.
Yeah.
Very good, but I'm sure that you've done a lot for a lot of people. That space you're in, you're more of a educator in that space, because I'm here. You're always coaching and helping and telling the next gen of the next anyone, in fact, that reaches out to you. You always would give them tips and tricks of things that they can do better to make sure that their insurance is right. So continue on, man. What else you got going on for yourself? I mean, outside of the insurance world. Well, you can even drop some tips about the insurance. Tell us a little more.
Well,
don't just give us one crumb. We need a little more. So I got to pull it out of you.
or I guess the question I like to ask is, people see you as this highly successful gentleman with all this time to give back to the community, which you do that very well. I mean, I've connected with you on many community events and you're always present.
Right.
But you have to have built something to give you that time to allow you to give back to the community. But it's not all a walk in the park. There's sometimes you got some adversity and you had to go through some challenges which people may not know. And if you were to say to somebody, man, if they only knew the shit I had to go through to get here,
I think that's a big problem nowadays. How, especially with social media, right?
Right.
You know what I'm talking about. It's you see things pop up and make $1 million, and do this and forget the old way, but here's the new trick, and go and do this and overnight you'll make $1 million.
Take the shortcut.
Right. And it's not just in the insurance industry, it's any
Everywhere.
business.
That is
you're
true.
in real estate, right? And you have
the communication,
successful telecom, right? So it's a scary thought, right?
Right.
People don't realize that you got blood, sweat, and tears.
There you go, man.
That's right.
So the challenge is when you decide to go off and be independent, as they say, it's like jumping off a cliff.
Yeah, it's scary.
You're not testing the waters anymore.
It's scary.
That's right.
So,
you're in it, and once you jump.
and it's not just in any industry, right?
Right.
So and basically what started all of that, like I said, old man had a little, it was a very small agency. Anyway, he was a partnership, and I kind of learned a little bit, dibble dabbled. It's funny if you look at my I said insurance, and if you read that, can you read that? What it says number? Yeah.
No, insurance.
But
Defining moments?
Well, no, I put insurance and I put yada yada
Yada, yada, yada. Why did you put that?
Because, it's not just about, it's not just insurance related that, the challenges of being a business owner, right? It's in all industry.
That
I
is
have
correct.
good friends, and I'm sure, we all, in the, small community, well, it's not so small anymore, man.
Right.
But Homestead, people that, we go way back.
Right.
And but it's tough and rough, man. But
Right.
there usually is some kind of a catalyst, right, that says, you know what, forget it. The 9 to 5 doesn't work for me.
Right.
So this is what I'm gonna do. It can
Right.
be scary, right?
Right.
You know how it is, man.
Right.
There's no tether, right?
Right. So what road led you to Homestead? What made you, of all the places in the world you could be, What makes you say, I'm going to put my flag down at Homestead?
Yeah, no, I mean, Homestead, you know what, to be honest, in my opinion, we need to get back to what it used to be.
Yeah.
All right? You know, Julio, you've been around a long time.
Yeah.
You're a local guy, right? So I think we have sort of lost, you know, our way, you know. And I say that, you know, to answer your question, you know, I've been here since the 70s, right? So I remember when 288 Biscayne, you know, Boulevard was a 2-lane.
Right.
I remember when they were building back then the community bank building, the headquarters. I remember
Over on 157th Avenue.
157, 288 Biscayne, right? I remember playing, you know, in that, you know, so, you know, I go way back, right? So, as I said, you know, as we, you know, in life sometimes, you know, I grew up here, went to school here a little bit, speaking of which, you know, Campbell Drive.
Yeah, I remember.
You know, I was in the first, you know, the 1976 when they opened. I think it was the first year when they opened. Anyway, so being here that long, and, you know, of course, as we grow, you go to school, move away, and, you know, do that route. And then ultimately, you know, finally find your, you know, partner and, you know, decide, you know what, time to have a family.
Yeah.
Where would you want to do it? You know, I don't want to do it somewhere crazy.
Right.
I don't want to be in
I want to be somewhere
downtown.
familiar, right?
Right.
You know, I mean, so, you know, and then of course the folks still lived here and whatnot, you know, at that time, right? So, you know, here we are.
That's a great question to ask all of us. Like, we've all been here more than 40 years, 45 years. We've all had success, and we can pick up and go anywhere we'd like. Yet we continue to stay here.
Yeah.
And it's due to relationships like this that we've got, which is the old style
Yeah,
relationship, the
right,
old
yeah.
school.
Right.
Or we can just sit, have a drink, talk about good times, talk about bad times, reminisce on
Well, when you
so
see
many
the
great
changes,
things.
then it allows you to say, you know what, I've seen it when it was this way. I see it the way it is now. I see what it could be in the future if we kind of revert back to some of the behaviors of yesterday in a good way, right? Because a lot of times some change is not always the best change. And sometimes change is good. So it all depends on what it is. Like I said, I love it for business, but I hate it for personal because of the congestion that runs around. So, but I wanted to get back to, hey, your business is here, the kids are grown, so you tend to do a lot in the community as well because, you know, you're part of things. What drives you? What keeps you going each day? I mean, what are the things you like to do?
Well, again, you know, a part of it is, you know, I'm kind of, you know, I'm a resident here, you know, I live here. This is my town, right? You know, or now city. I don't even know what to call it.
Right.
You know,
It's a monster now.
You know, yeah. But this is still, you know, home base for me, right? So, you know, you know, there's a question you asked about success. You know, I mean, the measure of success means way different things. You know, you talk to 10 people and you're going to 10 different answers.
Yeah.
And all of them are correct,
Right.
right? You know, so. But for me, you know, I thought to myself, this is my hometown, and what can I do? You know, so many years ago, I was invited, you know, to be a part of the Military Affairs Committee back then. You know, but now it is the Military Affairs Council. We're the council, right?
Right.
So I was invited, and this is when my son first decided that he was going to take the journey and going, you know, be, you know, do his service and, you know, talking about sacrifice. So anyway, so then there we are, you know, so that's a part of, you know, I'm, you know, like I said, I'm empty nester.
Right.
You know, we'll talk a little bit about business, but, you know, I mean, at this point, you know, the success, yeah, you know, I mean, I can, you know, consider myself as far as the business being a success. We started in 2003.
Right.
So that's a long time for any business to, you know,
Still be around.
You know,
right?
be around. So giving back, you know, and, you know, same thing, you as well, Julio, your family, you know, your wife, being president of Kiwanis, you know what I mean? So those are things I think all of us, you know, just we want to give back, you know, things that have been good to us. Of course, we want to return back, right? So, yeah.
Gives us a sense of purpose.
Right.
Purpose is, you know, that's a great word because, you know, and as we get older, right? You know, I mean, you guys are, you know, still.
But some of these people that get to our town, get to our city, and they want to join some of our civic organizations with the wrong intentions.
Right.
Hey, don't come into these organizations with your hand out. This is a giving organization. We're here to give. We're not here to see, oh, let me get access to all these people because I want to sell them this product.
Right.
Or I want to somehow break in because I've got some other underlying intentions. No, we can sniff that out in a minute.
That is
We
true,
know.
man.
You're like, you know
And we
what?
have.
You're on that side, right?
Yeah.
That's
But
right.
if you come in with the true humble intent that you want to give back, man, you've got a new group of friends
That's
that
correct.
welcome you with open arms.
Go ahead, man. So what else we got going on, CK, out there? We spoke a little about the family. We spoke about your business itself. So what do you do for fun? What is fun for you? I'll tag that there. I mean, that's a wide paintbrush. Hit that. You notice I'm off you. We don't do scripts here, so don't think that you were going to fly under be on script.
Now I'm all messed up, man. You threw me a trick
That's right. We show you a
question.
curveball, you know?
Trick question.
You know what I mean?
So I mean,
what's fun?
Here's the thing. As we go through life, priorities
Changes.
I mean, when we're first starting, especially, when we open up a business, man, it's like 24/7. It's just, you're
That's right.
constantly, creating and thinking of ways and, how you want to increase and how you want to grow.
Scale it up.
And so as time goes by, and then, family, and then family becomes a priority, then the business shifts down a little bit. But, then now it's like, okay, well, again, grown and flown. That's the term the kids, empty
That's right,
nesters,
grown and
whatever.
flown.
So one of the
I
things
like
that I
that.
love doing, believe it or not, is killing myself by running. I love running,
Marathons.
Yeah.
and I've done 6 marathons so far. So that's, you know what?
That's how you're in such good shape.
That's right.
Thank you.
Fit.
Always in such good shape.
That's
man.
it.
By the way, so I just turned 61, so I'm very
Congrats,
proud.
man.
Thank you.
We got to give it up for
That's
61.
right.
man.
But no,
Yeah.
so I say kill myself, but with it, moderate, but so I enjoy doing that. Golf, I'm not gonna say anything, brother.
I know that's a shot across the bow there. He said golf.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. My clubs are being polished. They're up and coming.
But that's something.
That's right.
Old and new. Because I started, many years ago. But there's a story with that. But
CK, I know. Back in the day, you were at a crossroads with your family where you were in the restaurant business, right?
Well, we talked about it, and I know your family was. So, getting back to, how the company started, Stoner Insurance Service, the insurance end, my in-laws, and, before we got married, my wife, she's one of 8 sisters,
Big
but
family.
anyway, so by the way, my wife is actually from Thailand. She's probably going to say, no, don't say that. No one, I'm sorry. Anyway,
That's right.
it leads to the story.
Well-
So being Asian, right, and being, sort of that side of it, we, including myself, we were in the restaurant business way back when, before I started the insurance business. And, talking about the crossroads, once I was in the insurance business and, it was kind of like helping them out. And at a certain point when I decided to jump off the cliff, and say, you know what, but we had that discussion, well, what we need to do something for ourselves, do we do something, she's familiar and with the restaurant business and the industry, how that, and of course my insurance background, and we're like, which one do we do, and that was the crossroad that we were faced with, so obviously we decided to take that path versus the other path.
Right.
So.
Demetrius was telling me the other day that there's a path for everyone, because as much as we promote jumping off the cliff,
Right.
and being your own boss, having your own business, something that you can create a legacy with, Demetrius says there's people that are completely happy with being an employee. Just like when you said you can ask someone what is success, they'll all give you 10 different answers, and they're all right for that person.
Absolutely.
Because success is different for different people.
Absolutely.
But we as humans, when you do decide to jump off the cliff and say, you know what, I know this is a scary moment, it is it is a little less scary when
Right.
your wife is holding your hand and you're going to jump off together.
Right.
Right?
Right.
We're going to do this together.
Yep.
Now, once you jump, we are meant to survive.
Right.
You know, another element, another creativity starts to happen
Right.
in our chemical body, and we go, okay, we've got to figure this out because we got to eat.
That's right.
We got to buy food. We got to put food on the table. We've got to pay this rent. We got to pay this mortgage. We got to do all these things. So immediately now you're going to sleep thinking on how to survive and, you know, provide a good service if you're in a service-oriented industry. And then you make friends, you provide good service, and once you get to that point where you're like, whew, I made it
right.
off the cliff. Then you never look back. You're like, this is the best decision. Why didn't I make this decision like 10 years ago?
I survived the jump. And that's important, man. As we grow, we tend to learn new things, and you come around persons that have done stuff. And again, it's okay to be in a space where you feel comfortable, but nothing more than being uncomfortable for the success you want, right? So so tell us, CK, what is it that you would like your audience our audience to hear today? I mean, obviously we know a little more about you. We know that you have a business, and how can they reach out to your business? I mean, if they need some type of help, you know, because your line of work, obviously, you know, it's a unique market, and also everybody, when they hear insurance, they always kind of tense up. But you make it seamless. You make it
Thank you.
easy.
We try. And I say we because
Correct.
there is the other part of success is that, you know what,
team.
sometimes you can't do it alone.
Right.
Correct.
Most of the time you can't do it alone.
Yep.
Right? So we, you know, and I appreciate that. So I have a great, you know, team that is a part of our organization, small, and you know what?
Small and mighty.
You know, it's kind of like, you know, I always say, you know, we're kind of like the special ops if you're military or whatever. as in,
I can see him going in now.
yeah, well, I never had to play. But anyway, so, but, you know, meaning that, you know, we pretty much, you know, handle all of it collectively together. We all have our special niches. You know, can I shout out?
Of course you can.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
so, you know, Jeanette, you know, she's a great long-time, you know, insurance professional, been in the business, you know, as long as I have, comes with experience and comes with a great deal of knowledge. And, you know, the other key factor in any service is that customer service aspect, right?
Amen.
So very personable. Sabi, you know, she handles, there's another side, I shouldn't say side business, a part of our business, which is a notary bonding service that we provide. There's like 20 of us in the state of Florida.
Okay.
For example, you're in real estate,
Yeah.
but you know, if somebody needs something notarized.
All the time.
Right.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing. So I'll you know, share that. So people, you know, are kind of like, oh yeah, you know, yeah, we're notaries, but also we're the bonding agency that you would come to, you know, and we would process your, you know, paperwork and application and get you, you know, the state actually commissions you as your notary. So there's a simple process with that, you know, so Sabi handles that. And then, yeah, myself, and then, you know, my wife is on the back end sort of, you know, handling, you know,
right.
the administrative stuff. The invisible, you know,
That's
as
right.
you say, you know, but
The
you know,
invisible
without-
power.
Demetrius, that was an indirect to you saying,
That's right.
if you or Jonette don't have their notary,
Right.
like, here we go. We've
That's
got,
right.
we've got a person right here.
That's right.
yeah, a little plug
You
there.
know,
man, I
I
appreciate it.
totally agree.
So,
Well-
yeah, so that's the, you know, that's what it is. It is a we thing, and it's not a me thing, you know, right? So, you know.
You touched on some really great points. When you're a leader and you really want to help others, and you have a team, and it's not about you, it's about your team, and you're truly trying to help that team member put more food on the table for their family, not only is that fulfilling
Indeed,
for
right.
you, but it comes back to you tenfold because you're genuinely trying to help other people, and that word spreads very, very
Right.
quickly, that it's not about you
Absolutely.
wanting to get paid first. Now, there are people in any business that outshine others. They're just naturally better at certain things, you know,
Right.
and maybe they've developed that skill over time. God has blessed them with certain things. But what I feel makes CK so impressive is that it's never about business when you talk to him, right?
That's it.
It's never about business. I mean, this guy connects with you on so many different levels, and it's just that you just want to hang out with him.
He
Right?
has a wealth of knowledge too, right?
Yeah, and he's one of those guys that has information, a little bit of information about everything. I mean, you can talk to him.
Source.
You can talk to him about UFOs. He'll be like, "Yep,
Yep.
I got some on
news, man.
UFOs."
We got news, right?
You can
It's
talk
not
to
UFOs anymore, by the way, man. It's UAPs.
It's UAPs now, right?
It's a different. There you go.
anything.
That's it.
So naturally, what happens is you're just drawn to being around him, and he's obviously an expert in his field. So then naturally, you just say, "Hey, by the way, I need insurance,"
Right.
and then you basically sign with your eyes closed.
That's right.
Because you've got so much trust in
trust.
this guy.
The trust
man,
factor,
we
man.
don't want people to do that. That's I'm disclosing that right now, right? Because we don't want people, my clients signing.
But the feeling is there. The reason he said that, in all honesty,
Sure.
is that
Yeah.
you have the trust factor, the customer service, and then you have the years of experience. A lot of times you want the experience. A lot of times people want to fast track their business because they saw something out there. They only seen the end result of things. They didn't realize all the things it took to get to this
back
point,
end.
the back end, and what is still there, continuously promoting. So as a whole, when you came on with us today, we wanted to kind of know a little more about you, for our audience to know a little more about you. For us who knows you, we love and appreciate you, and we want to make sure you know that we're going to give you your flowers while you're here. A lot of times people get their flowers as, man, I know CK, and blah blah blah, and time passes by. But while you're here with us and we're all here together, we wanted to say, you know what, we thank you. We know that you're a family man. You're doing good in the community. We don't see you on only in date, and you know what I mean. In places out there where the cops got you in handcuffs for some reason because you didn't pop someone over the head for saying some crazy stuff. But at the end of the day, is there anything else you would like to share with our audience with us? I mean,
Well, yeah, a big thing is I want to say congratulations to you guys, because this is a huge, I've envisioned and I would love to be a regular part of this at
Absolutely.
some point, maybe
Awesome.
not
We'd love to
necessarily,
have you, man.
But, congratulate Julio and then Demetrius,
Thank you.
and both of you guys, truly, again, pillars of the community because, like I said, getting back, and Demetrius, you as well.
Right.
You with your business, and also I know your involvement with, the Rotary and of course, partner and,
Right.
the MAC. By the way, speaking of the MAC, big plug, and there's a big golf tournament that we're sponsoring or hosting, right? So we're looking for help for all you golfers that want to support the military, that type of. So those are things that, again, it's very appreciative, for both of you guys to do, what
Correct.
we do, because Lord knows we need,
more.
more.
The support of the community and the support of the military guys mean, you know what? They do what they do so we can be who we are today.
Exactly.
So we owe it, and we owe it to them to kind of like give back in any way, shape, or form that we can do. This is a small piece of your day. I mean, if it's simple as volunteering and doing those type of things that we do on a consistent basis, and we make sure they feel love, for when we go out there, and as far as the community goes. And so the golf tournament that's coming up, guys, it's been around for quite some time now. It's held at the Redlands. It's a lot of fun for who comes out. I mean, the military, I think, golf for free. So, but then we're looking for sponsors.
Right.
So for all of you guys who are out there. So, CK, is there anything else that you wanted our audience to know? I mean, any tips and tricks that you can leave as a crumb for the next gen coming up? That person out there that's thinking about doing whatever. If they're thinking of running a marathon, if they're thinking about joining an organization, anything that you've been a part of, this is that platform. Say what you want to say.
Well, circling back, about, you mentioned, how people don't realize the back end.
Correct.
Right? Correlating that to running a marathon. If you're, whatever you do, whether you open up your business or if you want to be an employee, right? So it's not an overnight thing, right? So same thing with running a marathon. It's you can't go out there full blast, in the first 100 yards because you ain't gonna
burn out,
right? So you need to, same thing. It's just like, in life or business, and plan
Takes
it
time.
out. You need to do the work, right? You can't just go out there and say, you know what, snap my finger and, get on TikTok and expect to be a success. I mean,
Right.
it's interesting, that, the percentage of businesses, and you know what I'm talking about, that open and close. Why? Because
95%, right?
is that,
95%.
Sure.
I think an easy way to tell the audience is whenever you start something, you're going to suck at it. You're going to literally suck at it. But the more you do it, the more confidence you're going to have.
Right.
And the better you are going to get at explaining the value you're providing to the person you're speaking to. So don't worry about not being the best when you first start. Because CK just told us he wasn't the best when he first started. We all started.
Right.
But that's the key. Just start, stay consistent, and slowly, naturally, you get better. And you appreciate yourself and everything you've done so much more when you've had to work for it. Somebody gives you something overnight. Hey, you know what? Boom, here you go. It's like you don't appreciate that.
And I think also too, guys, when you think about it, stop listening to people that has not done something that you're trying to do. A lot of times, a lot of dreams and things are killed just because you listen to someone who has not done it, and they are in your ear, man. That's some tough stuff. Sometimes the best stuff that's formed comes from tough stuff. So stay at it. Try to surround yourself with a person that's like-minded, that wants to see you grow and want to see you become successful at what you got going on, and was willing to take that journey with you. So CK, at the end of the day, is there anything else that we can pull out of you as a tip and trick? I keep pulling it like this. I got you like this. Come on, come on,
if
drop
you're
it.
trying to find out how you can get the best rate in insurance, this is what it's leading to, right?
That's right,
Demetrius.
That's it.
Tips and tricks, man. What can I do?
That's right.
brother.
Just show up at his office.
There ain't no tips and tricks.
That's
man.
it.
But as far as insurance, all kidding aside, it's something. Circling back, it's just like you got to work for it, right? You know? When it comes to insurance, if you're looking for ways, to save money. You have to, just like doing anything, you got to educate yourself first, right?
Right.
You have to learn a little bit. So, and these are things that we try to do our best, as in like making, we don't want to teach you to become an insurance agent.
Right.
You got to spend 6 months or, 240 hours or whatever. I don't even know at this point, but anyway, but at least have a speaking knowledge and get an understanding, right? That's important. Just like in real estate, right? Or just in telecommunication.
Right.
You want to know, certain aspects of, and what can I do to mitigate that high, cost?
And you got to know a deal when you see a deal too. Sometimes you come in with no knowledge of anything, and you just say, you know what, I'm putting this in your hand. I just want the best for less, like everybody else.
Right.
But then sometimes you have to know or educate you a little bit just to know what this right looks like.
Exactly.
Because a lot of times it says, oh, is that a deal?
Right.
I didn't know that wasn't a deal.
Right.
And I just take whatever was offered to me because I trust the person that gave it.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, guys, please be mindful out there that, when you go anywhere, find the right people to surround yourself with so that when you're dropping your personal information to them and they are able to take that and says, yeah, go for it and try it. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. Julio, what else you got, man?
Well, I want everyone to know CK Stoner, the Stoner Insurance Company, very convenient.
Hold on. Stoner Insurance, actually, it's an agency, not an insurance company.
Okay.
You can get in trouble for that.
Yeah, there you
Anyway,
go.
I'm sorry.
Stoner Insurance Agency.
Yes.
That's right.
They are conveniently located right here on US 1, right near, across from IHOP. What's the full address there?
So it's
CK?
42 North Homestead Boulevard, which is US 1. Across the street, like you said, between IHOP and then also the Hyundai dealership.
Hyundai dealership.
Okay.
And also, he's on all the social media platforms. He is on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn. You can find this guy anywhere. So, you want to give him one of your handles on the social media platforms?
I think Stoner CK or Stone Running.
Right.
But I think if
I like Stone Running.
Yeah.
Stone Running or
Stone Running, and then also I just started. I'm trying to, get people motivated, talking about investing in your own health, right? So that's one of the things that I try to do. Run, walk, Homestead on Instagram. So that is, I'm trying to engage people. How many people do we know? Oh, I want to, and I want to run, but it's not necessary to run. You can do the walking, right? Stay healthy.
Well, we'll help you push the word out.
Yeah. And I want to share one. We have spoken about very similar things, right? So I want to read this to you, right? So keep company only with people whose presence calls for your best. That's by Epictetus.
Yeah.
Right.
A philosopher, an ancient Greek philosopher.
I'm going to put a star
poet.
next to that
That's
one.
right.
Right.
Keep company.
So we've been talking about that, right? So
Keep company only with people whose presence call for your best.
That's right.
So,
Excellence.
Yeah.
Very, very good way to somehow you're around those people that call for your best. All of a sudden, you see yourself in a much better position than you were a few years ago.
Think about that, right? They say if you're the smartest one in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yeah.
Mindset, right?
Well, I know I'm in the right room because both of you guys got the drop on me, man.
Well, we're all in the same pond now. That's it, buddy. We're swimming upstream. So with that being said, guys, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our guest, Mr. CK. Don't be a stranger. We always would love to have you on.
Thank you,
as
Mr.
we
CK.
shake hands, share, and we kind of hold each other accountable for our actions out there. So, guys, thank you, and we will see you next week.
Don't forget
Thank
to
you.
like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe, guys. Thank you.